Everybody knows it, everybody sees it, and everybody is talking about this. The Orlando Magic just simply look like they don't have enough. They look like they're outmatched. It's a very physical series, but there is no offense and no help for the man right there. Paolo Banchero. We'll also throw in Franz Wagner. We're missing too many pieces, and unfortunately, this Magic team is now down 0-2 as they go back to Orlando. Guys, welcome to Magic Digest. I'm your host, Patrick Previty. This is your one-stop shop for Orlando Magic basketball content here on YouTube. So usually this is the time in the video where I say that we're trying to inch to 1,000 subs. Well, we actually officially made it. We're just a tick above 1,000. So thank you so much, guys. If you've been here since day one, since the off season, since the beginning of the season, it doesn't matter. But thank you so much to those who have been, around for a long time. I appreciate it, guys. I honestly, it means a lot, and I just love talking Magic basketball with you guys. And let's just keep it up, man. Let's just keep going. Let's keep interacting. Let's keep this channel moving and grooving, and continue on. Obviously, the Magic are in a little bit of a hole right now, but you guys are helping it out and making it a lot better, at least for me. Okay, so let's take a look at what was said in this post game, because yesterday I went on with the guys from Celtics Digest, so we didn't really get a real post game for what happened in game 2. Jamal Mosley had some comments, and this was in response to maybe some of the foul calls in this game that were dominating that first half. It was on the foul discrepancy and challenges Orlando faced defending Boston. He starts this quote. You don't see it here. I'm not one to answer that question. I promise you I can't answer that one right now. There were some things you'd like to look at and say differently, and then this is where the quote on the screen starts. I'm not one to complain about any of it, but there's a reality that all of our starters had 2 fouls at one point. There was a time it was 16-2 in the free throw count. That's part of how the game goes, and that's what we've got to learn to push through and fight through, and that's what these guys did. Now, when we go to the line, we've got to knock them down too. Can't miss 9 in a 9-point game. Absolutely right. There was some seriously bad foul calls, and Kristaps Porzingis was able to get to the line a ton in that first quarter and in that first half, but the refs kind of cleaned it up, and the Orlando Magic just simply left too many points at the line. If you're going to tell me that we're going to miss 9 free throws, I don't even care how well we shoot. We're probably going to lose that game. And of course, the team shot like 24% from 3 in game 2, so there wasn't really any sort of offensive production to truly be proud of in this game. So they can't leave that on the table, and unfortunately we can't go and cry refs, because that was the Orlando Magic have been physical in their own right, and there are certainly Celtics fans who also think the other way on it. I think that was a decent answer from Jamal Mosley. Another quote that he did share on how he would summarize the game: a lot of ups and downs, a lot of runs, a lot of adversity that we fought through, which I like for what our guys did in that situation. Regardless of the circumstances, they continue to fight through. That's the resiliency of this group. The toughness of this group did not come out on the other end, but our ability to fight regardless of what was happening. And again, give Boston credit. They did what they were supposed to, take care of home court. We'll get into it later on in this video after I'm done with all these quotes about what I think really, really went wrong for this team. But, of course, you have to give credit to Boston. They earned this victory, and they're the defending champs. You have to give it up to them. All right, Franz Wagner also talked in the postgame, as any other player really would. And he talked about what's not really clicking for him from 3 this series, and if he likes the looks that he's getting. He said, I don't really know what to say. They're not going in. Yeah, it felt really good, honestly. Kind of surprised that a couple of them didn't fall. I made a completely separate video on his shot, and I believe he's like 2 for 12, maybe like 2 for 15 range, maybe like 2 for 13. So in that range from 3, it's clearly not falling. We were trying to get some more scoring from Franz Wagner. I think right now he's hit his cap. If he can't continue to shoot, then there's not going to be a second guy who's going to be that definite player to help out Paolo Banchero. He could potentially fall to some of the other players that are also struggling on offense. I could see a really clunker of a game from him in this series. Whether or not that's game 3, I really hope not. Franz Wagner became the 3rd player in the NBA, in NBA history, to shoot 85% from the line and under 30% from 3, and that's at least 5 attempts from 3-point range per game. So really bad company, but it does show that he's got that shooting touch. There's just something going on right there, and I'm not a shot doctor, so I'm not going to get into it again, but definitely needs to be fixed. And I don't mean that he would be the third or fourth best guy on the team. He's still probably clearly second, but this bad game could potentially be on its way if he tries to force it. Paolo Banchero also talked on how he would summarize the game. Back and forth, they came out of the locker room in the third quarter, went on a run, and we had trouble getting back from that the rest of the game. Yeah, so this series rather, has been defined by the third quarter. Both times the Magic have lost in the third quarter after a very close half. The first game they were up, so that is something that this team needs to address. Maybe they're coming out cold, maybe they're not coming out as aggressive as they need to be, or maybe just simply the adjustments that the Celtics make at halftime are too much. But what I do know is that this team just doesn't have what it takes to beat Boston. But in the same vein, I didn't expect or pick them, but they just don't have enough what it takes roster construction wise. And with Jalen Suggs and Mo Wagner, probably the third and fourth best scorers on this team, also out, they just don't have enough. And last night was an extremely unfortunate game for the Magic, but also a huge wake-up call. I said that this series was going to be a litmus test. I didn't think they were going to win, but I felt like you can compare yourself to defending champions and you can draw some conclusions. Well, without Jason Tatum, this team still can't win, and there's some clear deficiencies that have been around in the 83 games that this team played prior to this series. I think we've drawn enough, and we know exactly who probably should be around, who is going to have to get moved maybe for salary cap to then build this team up, and who's going to stick around. I think the guys who are sticking around for sure, the top two guys. I think the salary cap group is probably going to be guys like Wendell Carter Jr., Cole Anthony, even Jalen Suggs, I know. And I think Mo Wagner would probably be in the team that stays, but Jonathan Isaac, depending on his contract, what other teams look at that as. And then you have the group that, and Anthony Black would be in that middle group, and then you have the group that just simply might not cut it and might not be back next year. Who knows if they really try to make a run. As I mentioned, roster construction being a real hindrance to this team. Jamal Mosley has also been a hindrance to this team in this playoffs. I've been a staunch supporter for him all season, but unfortunately I don't really like the way that he is handling the rotation. I think in the playoffs you need to be flexible. You need to be able to make in-game adjustments to this rotation, throw out guys, give them a shot, and give them an extended shot if really nothing is working. Unfortunately, we haven't seen Tristan da Silva in the playoffs so far, and I get it, he's a rookie, but I don't understand. There's a lot of other teams that would be willing to throw out a rookie like this and give him a shot, and the Orlando Magic just simply aren't. When we go through stretches where we have no points through 4 minutes or 4 points in 8 minutes, and we just look like we are offensively inept, I don't understand why this team doesn't try and open up the rotation. It seems like he did open up the rotation for Bataze in Game 2, but obviously there was just too much physical play for him to get anything going. And unfortunately for Porzingis, Bataze did enter the game. It was just a mess. So I don't know why Tristan da Silva isn't getting it. I'm imagining he's going to get that call in Game 3, but unfortunately this team is down 2-0 when Tristan da Silva, we've seen, been a difference maker in the regular season. I'm not saying he's going to change everything, but I think he could really help. And this is something that we saw last year in the Cavs series. Some of those young guys admittedly weren't ready to play. Specifically, Anthony Black wasn't ready to play. But giving this team a shot, a chance to win, not wasting these games, even though nobody's picking us, and I get it, this Magic team, they're going to be done in 5 or 6 games max if they can get a game at home. But why not give this team a shot? I don't know if Jamal Mosley is helping the confidence of these players, and they're giving this team a fair shot. He needs to, get on the move. We need to change some of what's going on. Also, Corey Joseph, I don't want to see him starting. I want to see either Anthony Black or Cole Anthony, but Cole Anthony with 5 minutes, I understand in the last game that would be unrealistic. But at the same time, if this is our microwave scorer, I don't care if he can't defend. We as a team can defend. Who cares if he can't defend? Give him a shot. So I would love to just see him. I trust him more to be the playoff starter, but I need to see somebody in there outside of Corey Joseph. I'm done. I've seen it enough. No actual playoff team should be starting Corey Joseph that wants to compete. And then same thing goes for potentially KCP. Let's change it. Do something. We call on somebody to make a difference. Go big. Do what you need to do to change things up. Try whatever. But unfortunately, I don't think Jamal Mosley will. But I'd imagine Corey Joseph probably won't draw the start. I don't know if it will be Anthony Black or who it will be, but I think he'll be pulled from the starting lineup. But yeah, KCP also, he robbed us. He robbed us of this money. This is officially now a terrible year and a terrible signing. One of the worst free agent signings in all of the NBA, and I don't think anybody wants to see him back. But I kind of rambled at the end there. There's a lot of issues for this team, but I will say, with that being said, if you've seen the Curb Your Enthusiasm episode where they talk about when somebody says, with that being said, it means everything that they said before that doesn't really matter. Hopefully you've stuck around to this part of the video. With that being said, nobody picked this team. I picked them to lose in 5 or 6 games. It's still okay. This team is still young. We recognize what we have seen through 85 games this season. Even with the injuries, we should be able to properly evaluate this team. Changes are upon us. We know who's here to stay. This is okay. It's a learning experience. Paolo Banchero is an all-NBA guy next year if he's healthy. And Franz Wagner, if he can figure out this three-point shot, it's like a top 20 player in the NBA. Absolutely. So still A-okay. Everything is going to be okay. No need to hit the panic button on the franchise. But this season, it's slipping away. Hopefully they win on Friday. I'll see you guys probably tomorrow talking a little bit about the Jason Tatum injury and what his status is for that game as well, and just previewing more of game 3 and what that might bring. But as always, I will see you guys tomorrow with more Orlando Magic basketball content, and thank you so much again for 1,000 subs. See ya.